So I didn't really plan on filming today, but I got a few things I'm gonna do around the garage, so I figured I'll bring you guys along. Might as well make a video, and for those of you who are interested, you can watch it. That thing, I've got the radiator repaired, and we'll throw that back in there. I'm gonna take these wheels off. I plastic dipped the rear wheel, you saw that. So I'm gonna end up doing the rest of the wheels. But anyways, a little walk around this. So my buddy Alex made some stickers for me. This is the same exact font that says Rubicon. Obviously it says Fialko for me, and it's not a Rubicon, so I'm not trying to like up badge it or anything. But I think that's awesome. We got this aux beam hood mount light bar. We got these little pods here. And then we got the big long 52-inch triple stack one up there. Very nice, brand new from aux beam. It looks amazing. None of this stuff is hooked up yet. I just did this morning. But in addition to that, we also got these little handle inserts. These are aluminum. I think they just make the handles look a little bit better. I tried to look for whole handles that are different, just because they're kind of plastic and cheap, but I found these. This was super cheap, so I just bought these, and they don't really have like an aftermarket door handle option that I found anyways. We got these taillights on from aux beam. These are pretty awesome at night. They look amazing. But look at how much better that wheel looks black. So we're gonna go ahead and plastic dip the rest of them. We got the Fialko on this side as well. Still waiting on some headlights. They're back ordered, so we're gonna wait a little bit for those. I also got a little bit different antenna. It's a lot shorter than the other one. I think it just looks better. The Miata is all finished up. Basically, the only thing I really had to do was put on the rear bumper and the diffuser. The diffuser is actually really sturdy now. It won't even move that much. Even the middle ones are a little bit more sturdy. Just everything feels so much better about this. Rear bumper's painted, thrown on there. We don't have the little things that used to go from here to here. I'll do that later. And then again, we're gonna have to remake those side marker blocker plates. And then for the Vette, we're supposed to go drifting tonight, so I was gonna go and get some spares, put on those other C5 wheels that I bought, and you know, slide this thing tonight. I was gonna raise the rear a tiny bit. It ends up that everyone decided that they're gonna go drifting tomorrow. I'm not gonna be able to go tomorrow, which is fine. I'm really excited to start drifting this thing though. I was sliding a little bit yesterday. It was pretty fun. Cressida hasn't changed in a few days. But here's the radiator for the Miata. You see, just this little peg here broke off. And this is just entirely plastic. So all I did was just epoxy it back on there. It's like super globbed on there because I did two different really thick layers. That way it doesn't leak at all. I also got this in for the Jeep. It goes right on the A-pillar. It's a little switch panel for all the different lights and stuff. First thing, I'm gonna take off the wheels on the Jeep, start spraying those, get some tacky layers on them, and then we'll start working on the Miata and get that thing fixed. So I got this thing up in the air. It almost took me a second or two to think about how to jack it up. I haven't had a Jeep for so long, which brings me to a point. I have actually had a Jeep before, but it was a 1944 flat fender Willys, so not very similar, but it did have big tires and a big engine, so it was cool, but a little bit different. Anyways, we're gonna pop these wheels off and then we'll start spraying them. Got the wheels off of this thing. There's about 1 million different videos on how to plastic up your wheels on YouTube, so I'm not really gonna show you how to do that, but we're gonna go ahead and clean this up, tape them off, and start spraying them. Now that we've got that started, I'm gonna start working on the Miata and get this radiator thrown in there. I don't know why, but no glue / epoxy wants to dry on that damn radiator. So it's still kind of sticky, but I figured if this isn't gonna work, this last kind of attempt at a fix, I'm just gonna buy a new one. It's really not that expensive to buy one on eBay or whatever, but I just want to get this thing running, and it's just fighting me for some reason, that damn glue. So like I said, I epoxied this and then I put a whole nother layer, like really thick, just to make sure, but it still moves a little bit. I don't understand why it won't dry. I'm actually just gonna let that sit for another day, really make sure that it gets it dry, and you know, that way when I throw it in, I'm not really wasting my time. But I'll just add this day and another day when I throw that in together into one video. But today, I guess it's just gonna be me plastic dipping my wheels and then what we talked about earlier. In hopes of speeding up the process, I used a heat gun and tried to almost bake this a little bit. I think it worked a little bit here. It's still a little soft around here, but it definitely did some good work. It started to almost melt a little bit. I turned the heat gun up like all the way, and it's like 900 degrees or something like that, so probably a little hot, but I turned it off and it's definitely getting a little bit harder now. Hopefully it actually gets dry by tomorrow. But the wheels look good. I don't know if I told you guys, but I plan to get 35s at first. That way I can just run them on the factory suspension and everything, and then we'll do everything in preparation for 37s, and then we'll move to 37s and we'll get our different wheels and everything like that. Wheels are on. Looks way better. I cannot wait until I get some 35s. It'll at least be decent for now. But also, update on this thing. After just doing that little bit here, it's really starting to harden up. I'm still gonna give it a day, and we'll continue doing this tomorrow. Alright guys, so I don't really know what's going on with this glue, but it just won't harden. I don't know if that's the point of it, is that it doesn't harden all the way. It's definitely stiff. It's just not like real hard. So if this doesn't end up fixing it, I'm just gonna buy a new radiator. It can't possibly be that expensive, but we're gonna throw that in. It's honestly like a 2-minute process. Get that thing in there, and then we'll fill it up with radiator fluid, and it should start back up. Then there's this thing that just came in the other day. This is for the Vette. This goes right under in the mouth, and it helps kind of direct air up into the radiator. Hopefully that way it stops overheating while I'm on the highway. This lip blocks a lot of the airflow up into the radiator, so it just overheats on the highway, but when we're standing still and everything, it actually it does perfectly fine. It's just, it needs that little bit of scoop just to get it from down under the car up into the radiator. Everything's all hooked up. This fan is kind of just loose here. I gotta put some zip ties in it to hold it. But everything is good and should be ready to go. It's not leaking right now, but we'll see how it does under some pressure. Last time we tried to start it, it did the same exact thing where like it almost sounds like it has no compression or something weird. I thought that maybe we just flooded it or something, but I don't really know what to do next. I'm gonna wait till my friend gets here, and we'll check for a spark, and then if not spark, then fuel, and if it's not getting spark or fuel, then I have no idea what it is, but we're just gonna keep diagnosing it, figure out what the hell the problem is. Also, it's leaking, so that means I'm gonna buy a new radiator, or I think there's a Miata junkyard around here that I can go get a radiator at, which would be pretty cool to go to as well. So I guess we'll be going there and seeing what they have. But for now, I'd still like to try and get it running. I don't know what the problem is, so we're gonna have to try and get it running, and then I'll go and get the radiator as soon as I can. So we went ahead and turned it over. We know we got spark. I pulled some spark plugs, and we found out that this cylinder, at least this one, is absolutely full of oil. So I don't know what's going on there, but we're gonna pull all of them, drain them. The spark plug is just disgusting, so we're probably gonna try and get all that off of there, burn it off or whatever, throw them back in there, and then try and start it. So I've concluded that the head gasket is screwed. It's putting water into the, I believe, the second cylinder, so it's gone. Definitely gonna need a new head gasket on this thing. There's no way it's anything else. Ready?
Oh yeah, we're ready. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that sucks. All over.
For sale. Well, now that we know the Miata's screwed, I'm gonna go ahead and put this air dam on the Corvette.
Hey.
See how convenient it is? All I gotta do is these 2 bolts.
Isn't it just gonna rip off anyway?
Cause I'm low?
Yeah.
Maybe. I hope not. We might have to use the other one. It looks like it'll at least help. So in that way, you know, this is purpose built so that I can hit the ground without actually breaking. We just got back from a long drive and some lunch. We went on the highway for quite a bit, and it actually stayed really cool. It was really normal. It fluctuated between like 210 and 220, so all is good. The air dam definitely worked. But I think next we're gonna pull it in and then probably pull the Cressida out and do at least some body work on it. At least I have, you know, a friend here to help me, so it definitely helps things get going a little bit quicker. Jeremiah and I just finished up the Cressida. We basically just did a little bit more of the bumper, and we started to do a little bit of the wing as well. So in order to get these sides exactly how we want them, we got to know what we want for this side. So I figured I might as well start doing the trunk or the spoiler, get this finished off, and that way we can start doing this and finishing this off, and then we can finally kind of finish this off. I believe I'm going to take this line all the way down to here. That way it just cleans this up a little bit. There's no real easy way to take a hard edge like this and bring it into here, unless we kind of, I think if we kind of finesse it in through there, I think it'll look good. But anyways guys, that's going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and peace out.